We're always hearing about AI implementation, the models, the data, the whole tech stack. But what if the biggest reason AI projects succeed or fail has almost nothing to do with the technology itself? Today, we're going to dig in to the human factor.
So, this is the million-dollar question, right? Companies are pouring fortunes into this, you've got brilliant people working on it, and yet so many AI initiatives just kind of fizzle out. Why is that?
And right there, that's the core idea we're going to unpack. The biggest hurdles aren't technical bugs or bad algorithms, they're human barriers. We're talking about fear, resistance, and workplace culture that frankly just isn't ready for this kind of fundamental change. But before we can even talk about leading a whole organization, we have to start with ourselves. Let's be real, change is stressful. So let's start with you. How do you personally handle the anxiety that comes with a massive shift like AI?
It all starts with your own personal toolkit. First up, you have to actually acknowledge your feelings. Don't just bury them. From there, it's about anchoring yourself. Stick to your routines, take care of yourself, and stay proactive instead of just letting things happen to you. And of course, lean on your support system and break down these huge, scary changes into smaller, much more manageable steps. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about building the resilience you need to lead others.
Okay, so once you've got your own house in order, so to speak, how do you scale this up? Once you've got your own oxygen mask on, how do you lead a team, or maybe an entire company, through a transition this big?
Well, the first thing is purpose. AI can't just be the shiny new toy everyone's excited about. As a leader, you have to define a super clear North Star, a vision for why you're even using AI and how it connects directly to what the business is trying to achieve. And you don't try to boil the ocean. You start small, with pilot projects, get some quick wins, and build that crucial momentum.
And this, right here, this is the main event. Technology doesn't drive success. People do. That means you have to communicate the why constantly, transparently. It means bringing your people in from the very beginning so they feel a sense of ownership instead of just having some new tech forced on them from the top down.
And let's just be honest, this is the elephant in the room. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The biggest resistance comes from that deep, fundamental fear that this technology is coming to replace you. Any strategy that's going to work has to tackle this head-on. Okay, so how do you tackle that fear? Well, this brings us to what I think is the secret ingredient here, the one concept that holds everything else up: psychological safety. This is the bedrock. It's the foundation that successful, innovative, and, really importantly, ethical AI is built on. So what is it exactly? Is basically this shared belief in a team that you won't get punished or humiliated for speaking up. Can you ask what might feel like a dumb question? Can you admit you messed up? Can you challenge an idea, even if it comes from your boss? If the answer is yes, then you've got psychological safety. And what I love about this is how it makes the whole idea so tangible. On the left, you've got that old-school, execution-focused culture. It's all about speed, and when something goes wrong, you find someone to blame. On the right, you have a learning culture, which is absolutely essential for AI. In that world, failure isn't a fireable offense, it's data. Curiosity is encouraged, and the focus is on getting it right, not just getting it done fast. And look, this isn't just some feel-good, fluffy stuff. Psychological safety has a direct bottom-line impact on creating responsible AI. When people feel safe, they're the ones who are going to raise their hand and say, hey, I think there might be some bias in this data. They're empowered to step in with human oversight and challenge what the AI is putting out. This is how you build real trust and avoid those ethical nightmares we all hear about. All right, so we get what it is and why it's so important, but how do you actually build it? How do you take this from an abstract idea to something real? Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actionable steps.
This model here is a fantastic roadmap. It's a progression, right? It all starts with inclusion safety. People have to feel like they belong. Then comes learner safety, where it's okay to ask questions and, yes, make mistakes. After that, you get contributor safety, where people feel safe enough to actually share their own ideas. And the highest level, the holy grail, is challenger safety, the safety to question the status quo. That is absolutely vital for spotting risks in AI.
And no surprise, this has to start from the top. Leaders have to walk the talk. That means admitting when you don't know something or when you've made a mistake. It means when someone raises a concern, your first response isn't to get defensive, it's to get curious and say, tell me more. You have to frame the work as a learning problem, an experiment, and actively show empathy for those very real job fears we talked about. And good intentions are great, but they're not enough. You have to actually build safety into your processes.
This looks like having a formal red flag procedure, where anyone on the team can hit the pause button on a project without fear of retaliation. It means anonymous feedback channels and building ethical review checkpoints right into the development cycle itself.
So, okay, you do all this work. You handle the personal side, you get the leadership strategy right, and you build this cultural foundation of safety. What's the payoff? Where does this all lead?
This is the payoff. You take all of that fear, all that anxiety that's swirling around AI, and you transform it into fuel for innovation. A team that feels safe is a team that experiments, that collaborates, that solves tough problems faster and more ethically than any team that's paralyzed by fear. It becomes your single biggest competitive advantage.
And I just think this quote wraps it all up perfectly. Success isn't about replacing people. It's not about automation for its own sake. It's about augmentation. It's about creating a true partnership where technology makes humans better and humans make technology better. And that can only happen in an environment built on trust.
So, we're going to leave you with a question to take back to your own world, to your own team. Look around. Is your culture a launchpad, ready to propel you into the future with this technology? Or is it a barrier, holding you back? Because really, the answer to that question is going to determine your future.